quickly destroy the archaeotech engine.
Nothing can be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barakiel.
So answers an apothecary.
I'm in place.
I am in place.
The Dreadnoughts are uncounted.
In position.
Waypoint reached. All die.
Quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing could be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barricade.
So answers an apothecary. Warning!
I'm in place.
I am in place.
The Xenos are uncounted.
In position.
Waypoint reached. All die. Our weapons.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. Well, we finished the Demicaron, or
Lego No
however
Mix
the heck
2.
you say it.
Yo.
What's up, Lego? If you check out the Discord, the pictures are there. I even threw a little bit of paint on it just to cover up the green so you guys can see what it's like, you know, prior to pre-painting. It's in the artwork section. I want to say thank you to my new subscribers again. YouTube refuses to tell me when I have new subscribers or anything like that, so I apologize. And that's all I can do, honestly. So, anyway.
Lego No Mix 2. Ooh, that looks sick.
So we're putting together. Thank you, man. We're putting together some Trygons here. Now, I have 3 more other than this one that I put together a few years ago, or a couple. I don't even remember when I put it together. Got some extra bits here that I'm probably never going to use, and I'm almost done putting this one together at least, because I've already, I guess back when I was doing this, I had already kind of put stuff together. I might have a little bit of cleanup on this one. So the reason I say the third one, I'm not sure if I just said that, I'm not even sure, is I don't know if I want to make a Moloch or just a 4th Trygon. I'm not a big fan of the Moloch head for sure, except for the Red Terror that I made, and I mean, I don't even know like what it can do, how good it is, or whatever. So what I'm going to do before I get, we'll see how far we get along with this. But before I do that, actually, you know what? I got the codex right here. Hold on. Let's see this bad boy. Let's see. Where is it? I think it's fast attack. I mean, I know the Trygons are, which is weird to me, but whatever. Okay, so there's Raveners. I don't know what I guess Moloch is too. Okay, so we've got that here. So Moloch has, of course, it would be on a different page than the Trygon. Let's see, they both got the same amount of wounds, same amount of movement, weapon skill and ballistic skill. I'm not sure why they need a ballistic skill, but whatever. However, the Moloch has more attacks, and for some reason costs less. So Toxin Spike, Moloch Scything Talons, whereas the Trygon has the Bioelectric Pulse 12-inch, Salt 8, Strength 5. So the Moloch is completely, looks like it's completely melee. Looks like they've got the same abilities except for the distensible jaw. Each time this model is selected to fight, select one enemy unit within engagement range of this model and roll 1d6. On a 2 to 5, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a 6, that enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. If any models are destroyed as a result of the mortal wounds at the end of the turn, the enemy unit counts as being below half strength for the purpose of combat attrition tests. got a terror from the deep thing. I don't know, man. I mean, 16 attacks, but versus 12 and not being able to shoot. I guess I could magnetize the head, right, or something. Just go with that. I mean, that's really all there is in the difference. And then, I mean, I say magnetize the head. I may have to. Let's see. Where's the? Okay, so that's for the second Trygon. Okay, here we go. So this is the top piece. I remember that. You've got these pieces for the mouth, and wherever the other little piece went, I probably got it around here somewhere. Well, I mean, I'll have extras anyway. And then you got those things. So I guess there's probably a way I could do that if I really wanted to. Looks like this just fits on there. And the jaw. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Got enough work to do as it is. Anyway, what are you up to, Lego? What are you building on?
Lego No Mix 2. I'm painting a Redemptor Dread RN.
Redemptor Dread. I have one. One. That is still new in the box. Oh wait, no, I have two. Yeah, I think I have two. I know I have at least one. I don't know. I got too many damn models. Alright, did these dry yet? I don't know about that. Alright, let's go ahead and finish this guy up here. So the first thing I need to do is get all of his toxin sacks on his arms before I try to turn around and... Or, I think that's what these are. Is that what these are? Toxin sacks or something else. I don't remember exactly what they are. I think they're toxin sacks. But I gotta figure out where they go. Okay, actually I put them on this guy. Where did I put them? Alright, I put them like that somehow. They wanted it up near the arm, and I think I didn't do that for a reason. I just can't remember what that reason was. I kept them down by the elbow, kind of like a gauntlet type thing. Let's see. Let's just see how that looks before I glue it. I don't know. I just don't see. Yeah, I think I'd rather it be back down there. Again, it's a little bit inconspicuous, I would say. Okay, we got the three there. So these three are going on top. But I wonder if they were supposed to like hang somehow. That just looks horrible to me. I don't know why. We're talking like fractions of an inch and I just don't like it. I'm just gonna keep it all the same. But the great thing is we are definitely making progress. All we've got after these is the magnetization of the two Tyranids / Tyranids, and then that's it for big models. Well, no, I'm sorry. We got Hive Tyrant stuff still. Another Hive Tyrant set that I gotta look at putting together. I think I may have to try to make my own torso or something to maximize it, because technically I can get a winged Hive Tyrant and a regular Hive Tyrant out of it. Let's see, Did I do that right? I think I did. Yep. Awesome. Oh, I gotta slide it down some. Oh, I didn't even clean these up. Holy crap. I mean, I always look over them before I paint anyway, but it's a lot of cleanup to do once it's put together and in the wrong spots. So what color are you painting your Redemptor there, Lego? Or what chapter? Or is it a custom chapter?
Lego No Mix 2. Iron Talons is the name I come up with, and it's custom.
What's the colors? Or like scheme? I won't lie, man. Building that Demicaron, I mean, I was excited to build it and I had fun doing it, but there were some frustrating parts. But today made it all worth it because
Lego No Mix 2. Black then metallic arms and orange and yellow shoulder pads.
So black torso and legs, metallic arms, kind of like Iron, well, what's his name from the Iron Hands? Ferrus Manus, and then orange and yellow shoulder pads. Are you going orange in the middle and a yellow trim, or vice versa? I can kind of see that.
Lego No Mix 2. Orange up to yellow.
Orange up to yellow. I guess I don't understand.
Lego No Mix 2. Orange trim yellow pads.
Okay, right on. Let's see. Yeah, I can't wait till I can start painting again, but I mean, I can paint whenever I want. I just feel like I need to do this first, because if I don't, I'll never get all my models put together, and then I'll just be staring at boxes instead of models that I could actually play with, painted or not, right? That's how I'm looking at it anyway. Well, this is kind of motivating that I was already almost all the way done with this guy and I just didn't remember that. I know when I was doing this, I was in kind of a build mode of just cranking out stuff. This was long before I started the YouTube channel. But these guys have been sitting in boxes forever, as you see them right now. And it looks like I did the bulk of the work on the other one too, except for stuff like this. So these guys should go together. These two should be done real quick. I mean, I gotta cut out, you know, this stuff here, but that's not a big deal. All right. Okay, since we're waiting on that, let me start cutting this stuff out. I even cleaned up my desk some after that last build because there was green stuff everywhere. And I mean like green powder because, dude, look, check it out. I told you guys I was going to sand it down. This is what I used to sand it down and shape it. I started with sandpaper and some sanding twigs and a sanding block, and I was like, wait a minute, I got a stinking Dremel. I wonder if that'll work. And damn if it didn't. Freaking legit. Okay, wait a minute. This is... Why does this look like... Oh yeah, this is for him. Okay. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Get all this crap cut out while that stuff's gluing. Okay, so we need these right here. Are there numbers? There are no numbers. Of course there aren't. Okay, let me see. I think I understand how it goes though. I think this is the very top one. No, that is not correct. That is the very top one. Good God. Well, guess we're just cutting these out then. Sort them out like I did the other one. So you got any background on your chapter, Lego? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold the phone.
Legonomics 2. Not really, except they absolutely hate Tyranids.
Hey, you know, that's alright. That's alright. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Cut those off. I absolutely hate Tyranids. What colors are their helmets going to be? Black too, or how's that going to work?
Legonomics 2. Yes.
I'm not sure why they give us these tiny little claws, because there's nowhere to put them. I guess maybe if you wanted to swap it out or something. Or something smaller, or maybe that's what the Moloch gets. I don't know. Go big or go home. Wait a minute. What the hell? Even these are too small. Moloch must have smaller ones or something, or maybe I switched it out, or I don't know. I'm getting too old for this shit. Whoa. Yeah, I was covered in green stuff dust along with my entire workspace, but it was worth it. Got it done a lot faster than I would have doing it by hand, and a lot smoother, a lot more like effort to shape. It was really good. Okay, I think we're good on that for now. Put all this over here. Not entirely sure, because I feel like, hold on. Okay, I did put the right ones on. I thought I screwed up on this is what happened. But I guess I didn't. So that's good. Alright, let's get this bad boy on here. It should be good to go. And then that will give us 2 of them completed. I want to do this. Whoops. Hell, I might have put too much glue on. These guys, the reason I'm not doing the cork on them is because this guy's sitting up on some cork. I talked about it last night at some point. These guys are going to sit flat, and it's going to, they'll have the same eruption style base, but it's going to be different, to say the least. I mean, I say different. It's going to be from the lesser level. That way, this guy, kind of looks like he's, so if they're next to each other, they're just kind of, what am I trying to say? Different heights. Sorry, I might be reaching my limit on building. No, I'm kidding. That is not gonna happen. We are way too far into this. Oh, and then after the Tyranids are done and the Hive Tyrant, what am I trying to say? Wait a minute. What's going on over here? Okay. The Gene Stealer Colts, those guys are next, or the last part. Well, okay, they're not the last part. They're the last part to my Tyranid 40K army stuff. We have a ton of Gene Stealers from 8 Space Hulk box sets that have to be done. I don't think there's a whole lot of putting those together. I think it's just getting them off the sprue and cleaning them up. I'm pretty sure anyway. But they will stay with the Space Hulk stuff. they will obviously be painted differently than the Tyranid army. Okay. I'm also trying to position these in such a way that they're dynamic but also allow me room to get my paintbrush in there. I don't mind painting sub-assembly, but I like to see the model come together as I'm doing it. It's more fun to me. Sub-assembly, jeez, is okay, but you know, I like to see the whole model because sometimes my mind might change on something. These ball joints are a pain in the ass. Especially if you want to change them, their flow or direction. They want to just fold right back in like you just saw happen. We'll use the old skin cell trick, as I call it. All right. Damn, missed a spot. Right on the freaking front too. How about that? Any more? Don't see any. Thinking about pushing this down. Snap it off if I can. Yeah, there we go. Gotta love it. So who all do we have here? See Lego, we've got quite a few visitors. Welcome. Feel free to say something. The glue gods are not being nice to me at the moment. Of course, it would help if I applied pressure like I am now. Amazing when you... Actually, I don't like that. Okay. Last part for this dude. Try to turn his head a little different. Wait, that's exactly how the other guy's head is. And of course the arm fell off. Because I didn't put any glue on it, really. Well, I did pull it off. There's that too. Alright, so that one's done, unless something falls apart on it. Trying to remember how or why. Oh, because I turned this body that way and the other one's going the other way. Okay, that's fine. I want them on the base this way, not this way, because then I gotta worry about the damn space in my cabinet. All right, let's see what we got here. We'll clean up and get these spikes on so they can dry or cure, whatever you want to call it. Discord is also open for anyone that wants to join it. Costs nothing. In case anybody's wondering, these models are not commissioned, they're for me. Actually don't have any commission projects at the moment. I'm doing everything for me at the moment. Actually, before we get into that, let's put these guys together. Here's a question for you guys, Lego, whoever wants to chime in. What are your thoughts on when you're building something? Do you get to the point that when you're near the end, you just feel like everything has slowed down and you're just like, man, you know, I don't feel like doing this anymore. Or something like that. Does it ever feel like that to you?
Legonomics 2. Yes, 100%.
Like you're all excited in the beginning and then all of a sudden just... I actually felt like that towards the end of that Demicaran. Because I had to make... Well, and I'll tell you why I think this is. I think it was because of the failure that I had initially with the claws on his hands. Like if you take a look at the picture, you'll see the white claws. Well, they look fine now, but they were considerably thicker, and I couldn't figure out what happened. And then it dawned on me, it's like, hey, you know, dumbass, you poured too much. You went too high in the mold, because they were 2-part molds. And so then I had to turn around and redo it all. And it's not like it took forever or anything. It didn't, you know. But it just, I don't know, man. It was like all of a sudden I hit this wall. And I was like, man, you need to keep going. You're almost done with this stinking thing. And technically I'm not really done with it yet. I would like to put some green stuff where the fingers meet the wrist. And I probably will later on, but you know, we'll see. Because it doesn't look bad the way it is. I just don't like having things incomplete, and I really wanted to get that out and get it on the shelf as well. Alright, we're going to let that sit and let those cure while we get the rest of these. I'll tell you one thing that's going to be rough for me is going to be once I finally do move on to all of my the other Space Marines that are not chapter specific. We've put all those together. That's going to be, the sorting on that is going to be rough. The sorting and the trying to figure out what the loadouts are going to be. If I'm going to still magnetize like I always do with the one specialist. If I'm even going to try to magnetize heavy weapons in a squad. Am I going to do one giant army like was originally planned of salamanders, you know, a chapter strong? Or, because I'd really like to have different colors and things like that, do I break it down and have some other chapters, you know? Because right now, if you haven't heard me say this on a previous stream, my the bulk of my armies consist of very dark colors from, or they will rather, because they're not all painted. We only have 2 small armies painted, and that's Necrons and a Salamander's army I gave my wife. And so basically you've got Dark Angels, which other than the Deathwing army portion are dark green and black. Then you have Black Templars. Then you have Blood Angels with Death Company. And I haven't decided if my Blood Angels are going to be traditional Blood Angels or if I'm going to go with my favorite, which is Flesh Terrors. And then you've got Death Watch, which are black. You've got Space Wolves, which are not black. And they will be traditional Space Wolves, because I've got Logan Grimnar and stuff like that. We've got Grey Knights, obviously. We've got Custodes. We've got Sisters of Battle that I'm toying around with what color I want. Or, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they were still the black that they were, but I'm trying to look at something a little more regal, purples and whites possibly, you know. Purples, whites, and golds. But then I've got 2 Sisters of Battle armies. One that is a pretty sizable troop one that was made out of Dark Eldar parts and Eldar parts to be Sisters of Battle / Sisters of Silence before the models ever existed and before there were ever any rules for them. They're going to be, I don't know what they're going to be, what color. And then of course we have Sisters of Silence. Let's see. We have, I think that's it for Space Marines that are put together. I think. I could be wrong. But then you got Adeptus Mechanicus, and those are going to get painted kind of a
Patty's
new.
Parlor. Hey and howdy from the parlor.
Hey man, how are you? Hopefully you can hear me fine. You're one of my first YouTube people in a while. Usually it's all Twitch guys. What are you working on? And then we've got Black.
Patty's Parlor. Doing pretty good. Audio is good here.
Awesome. And then we've got Death Guard, Black Legion, Slanesh, Tzeentch, Khorne, you know, armies for Chaos Space Marines. Oh, Orcs. They're going to be Goth Orcs with some banner poles or banner things magnetized so they can be whatever, and it'll just be the color, you know, that way I don't have to change everything. I can just change it per battle or something like that to represent who they are. Let's see. We've got Ulthway Eldar, which are black. We've got
Patty's Parlor. I'm trying to edit Venger Satan's new book so I can't hang too long. But I did want to give you some traction.
I appreciate it, man. We got Dark Eldar. They're probably going to be black or blackish. I mean, there's just so many armies that are dark. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, how I can go about remedying that with the Space Marines that I'll have. My Death Corps Krieg, they're going to be darkish.
Legonomics 2. To be fair, it is the grim dark universe.
This is true. This is true. And, you know, and that's the thing I struggle with. It's like, you know, do I assume that when my troops hit the field, you know, the field of battle, that they are always, I mean, is it because they just showed up, or have they been fighting a while and their armor's dirty and, you know, stuff like that? That's the struggle, you know. Let's see here. Trying to figure out who's who here. I know that doesn't go there. Probably doesn't really matter. But I'm definitely missing. Yeah, I'm definitely missing something here. No, guess not. Guess it's just the way it is. Alright. Put this dude's other things on. Oh man, did I really miss that? Sure did. This is why I'm all about having a dull knife. So you don't, if you have some awkward cuts and things like that, you're not worried about cutting in more than you're supposed to. Alright, so We need this to go up. Yeah, okay. I'm sure all these little claws and things are going to be hell to paint, but that's okay. It'll be worth it in the end. Surprisingly, this is not a difficult model to put together, and since I don't have any customizing to do, it's going by pretty smooth. Alright, let's put these on. Toxin sacks. This guy over here. I'm gonna just throw that down there. Oh, looks like we got some stuff we missed here too. That's the only challenge when you're, at least for me, when you're doing these streams or anything like that, is you get wrapped up in what you're saying while you're working and end up missing stuff. Whereas if you weren't distracted or doing other things, you kind of get in the zone and you're able to focus more, I guess.
Patty's Parlor. It's like writing a book. It's nigh impossible to edit and proofread your own work.
I agree. Which is something I want to do, actually, is write a book. I want to write a book. I gotta get my narration, my story stuff done for my custom chapter. I got so much to do. It's
Patty's
not even
Parlor.
funny.
I always catch my model painting mistakes on stream more than when I don't.
And then what do you do then? Do you just like get frustrated, or you go back and try to fix it, or leave it be? How long have you been streaming, by the way?
Patty's Parlor. Depends on the mistake. Most times, I find it's not conducive to the process to fret. I'd rather zen out and finish the project.
I gotcha. Makes sense.
Patty's Parlor. As for the writing, it's all about sitting down and getting it done. It's daunting to think about publishing it for the world to see, but getting yourself on stream alleviates that.
Yeah, I mean, I was nervous, I guess, the first time because I really didn't know, like, I mean, the first time I was ever on stream, I think was on Twitch, actually. I can't remember. And I was playing
Patty's
Skyrim.
Parlor. I've been streaming on and off for a couple years. I try to be consistent, but life is life, and this is a hobby, not a job.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I can, I do.
Yeah, that's how it is for me. School as well.
Legonomics 2. So what do you want to write a book about anyway?
I want to write a book about, okay, so not any fault of my father's at all, okay, in this regard, but I didn't get to grow up with him. And so there's a lot of things I could have learned from him that I was unable to, and I had to really learn the hard way. And I would like to write a book, while obviously I don't know everything in life. Call it a self-help guide or whatever you want to call it, something to guide my kids, you know, for the things that I didn't know. And obviously you can't, you know, put everything in there. There's no way to show or write, you know, every little whatever description or whatever where, you know, a person can know, but specifically things regarding, you know, just handling life. And yeah, I'm not perfect or anything like that, but especially if something were to ever happen to me or whatever, it's, you know, something they can look back on or at least have to remember. And I'd like to write some Warhammer novels too. I think that would be pretty neat. I mean, I dream about it in my head all the time.
Legonomics 2. Cool.
And I think about that book all the time when I'm going to sit down and do it. And I've got a friend of mine, well, a couple friends of mine that keep beating me up about doing a book regarding my service. And as silly as this sounds, the only reason I don't want to do it is I feel like the second I do, I've just basically jinxed myself. Can't explain it, can't explain the feeling, but I've never been the guy to, you know, hey, look at me, look at everything I've done, and then turn around and something like that happens, you know. Okay, what do we got here? Got all that stuff done. We just need to put the head together while that stuff cures. I don't remember exactly how to put the head together. Looks like we have a few options too.
Legonomics 2. You served?
Yeah, I'm a retired Marine. Okay, so... Alright, that's a problem. What the hell's the neck part?
Legonomics 2. Thank you for your service.
Well, it was my privilege. This is not good. Where the heck is the dang neck?
Patty's Parlor. It's a lot easier to start with writing something less personal.
That's kind of what I thought. But I mean, I have no writing experience at all.
Patty's Parlor. Thanks for your service, brother.
Well, again, I just, you know, It's my privilege to serve something better than myself. Okay, that's a problem, ladies and germs. If we can't find the neck, we're in trouble. That is not good. And I don't have the slightest clue. Wait a minute. What's this? That is from those big creatures. I don't remember what they're called. Dude, they're like
Legonomics 2.
Poisonous thing.
BRB.
Wow, am I seriously missing this piece? Oh, God, I know what I did with it. Oh, it's on the Red Terror.
Patty's Parlor.
That's what happened.
I'm sure you have a lot more experience than you think. I had to write enough memos, awards, counselings, etc. in my 10 years. You have the words available to you. String them together.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, same thing for me in after action reports, which are really just stories. And so yeah, you're not wrong. It's just, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, you know what I could do? Since I only have one of these heads, is I could make a mold for one of these pieces. Let me put it this way. When I think about certain things that I would like to write in there, as sappy as it sounds, it kind of, you know, sort of kind of brings tears to your eyes, if you will. And I'm real big on, you know, my family's history, even though I seem to be the only one left in my family that cares about any of that. Everybody else is just, you know, they're TikTok drones, if you will. So, there's not really anything I can do about that. Let's see, can we make this happen? I think we can. I think I can two-part this, and we will be able to make the head. That's legit. Alright, where'd I put that stuff? Alright. Okay. Alright, I will be right back. I'm gonna go throw this stuff in some water. We'll give that a little bit. In the meantime, we'll go. These should be dry enough. We can start putting them on him. Let's try to... Oh, down here.
Legonomics 2. I'm back.
Yeah, me too. Oh, did I really do that? That sucks. Apparently, when I put this on, I didn't pay attention to that hole. So I've got this turned, and I don't know. I might be able to slam it in there. I'm gonna make a mold. Come on, baby. Can you get in there? Oh, yep. And then I stabbed myself on the freaking damn that right there. And I knocked this off apparently. It's dry, so we're going to put that on. I'm gonna make a 2-part mold for this head because I remember I used the other head for my Red Terror. So that explains why I don't have that. Or why I don't have the neck piece that I need. That's okay. It may not be perfect, but I think it'll work out. So, Patty, what did, I'm assuming from what you told me, obviously you served. What branch, all that? And thank you for your service. Might have put too much glue in there. Skin cell trick. Oh, apparently this thing wants me to stick myself again. It's all lubed up now so it can fit in there.
Patty's Parlor. Army. I was with 3 to 1 in Fort Bliss while I was active in the Montana Guard.
Right on. I was 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Sniper Platoon, 3rd Recon Battalion, 5th Force Recon Battalion, SOTG instructor, and then when OIF kicked off, we didn't have enough staff in CO, so they started pulling us all from recon units, and so I went to 1-5 Alpha Company as a platoon sergeant for OIF, and then OIF 2. First Battle of Fallujah, I became an independent sniper team leader for General Mattis because of stuff I had done previously, and doubled as a weapons platoon sergeant for 1st Battalion, 5th Marines Alpha Company. And oh, there it is. God, I lost track of where the heck I put the damn scything talent or whatever we're calling this thing. And then went back to recon and got selected for Mass Sergeant and Marine Gunner. And then my dad got killed, tree cutting accident. Right around time it'd be for me to re-enlist, which would have been in my 20th year, but re-enlist for the Marine Gunner, you know, because you gotta have at least 2 years service. And just kind of lost all taste for everything. And a good friend of mine that was in my old sniper team, or sniper platoon, sorry, another one of the team leaders, had gotten out a long time ago, and he was contracting in Afghanistan. He gave me a call. It was just like, I'll just call it a God thing, because I didn't want to be there anymore. The politics with what Obama was doing, it was all bad. And he gave me a call from Afghanistan. I was like, dude, you know, I know you're up for re-enlistment. I know you got selected, congrats and all that, but we could really use you over here. And I was like, well, sounds good to me. So got my ass chewed by the division gunner because I put my retirement papers in, and basically they made me a regimental operations officer for, you know, in a major's billet for the time it was going to take for me to get out, which was about a year. And well, I say a year, not really, but, and the reason that happened is because they could never keep the majors they were getting. Somehow they kept getting transferred. It's like within 2 weeks. It's kind of a weird, I mean, obviously they could figure it out. And anyway, in all the time that I'd been serving and everything, I really didn't take much leave. So when it came up, eligibility for terminal, I sold back the, you know, maximum 60 days, and I had 90 days terminal. I lost about, what, 17 days or something like that, because you can't, you know, you can't get any more back or whatever. And so when I took that terminal, within about 2 weeks after getting, you know, going to Moyock, Virginia, and getting all my qualifications and stuff as a contractor, I was going to Afghanistan. And so I retired out of the Marine Corps while in Afghanistan as a contractor, and came back after, well, I stayed over there for a year. Really didn't feel like coming back, but the contract seemed like it was coming to a close, at least for in-country or OCONUS. And met my wife, and again, if I'd have stayed, none of that would ever happen. Now I have 2 little ones and an adopted son, and have 2 small family businesses. We run a gun range that we own, and some pet kennels. And I do Warhammer, except I don't have anybody to play with. Hold on 1 second, be right back. Just let these cool down. Like I said, it won't be the most perfect thing, but it'll be something. And with the hood and stuff like that, it'll be just fine. It's not like we're trying to win a golden demon or anything with this stuff. Try to push this around it a little bit while it's still warm. This one, we may be stuck on that one unless I throw it back in there. Yeah, I'll throw it back in. There we go. Alright, yeah, if you guys ever need parts, man, get this like small parts. Get this Instamold stuff. It's legit. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember the name of that army base in Alaska that I went to and trained at, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's there's a bunch of reservists up there, but they're like a ginormous reserve battalion or something. Might be motor transport or something. I was training them on thermals for IEDs in the ground. Still pretty hot. Okay, so in the meantime, let's cut these other pieces off. Not that one. I don't know why, but I feel like this part's for the Mawlock. Yeah, it's gotta be, because I think it's this wider, so I don't think I need that. Alright. Wait a minute. No, that's the bottom jaw. We do need that. Okay, we need the part that sticks out of his head. Or the two parts, rather. I don't know where the heck I put. Oh, where I put those. unless I put them on that Red Terror, which is a strong possibility. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Changed their arms. Knew I'd find them someday. So this is the rest of the other one, and I do not see those particular mandibles, so it had to be on the other sprue, which means I probably did use them on the Red Terror. What's this? Oh no. Well, okay, if we've only got this one set, then we're gonna have to make a mold for that as well, which means that'll be a 2-part mold unless I can find the other ones. Because I like these. I don't like the one that looks like it's some kind of mechanical something. Biomechanical, whatever. And this won't be that hard to make. It's no different than making the claws for the other thing. All right, let me put that with this so we don't lose it. What's interesting is that the plastic is 2 different colors for the body and the weapons and stuff. So I will go ahead and throw these in the water.
Patty's Parlor. So you said that you are somewhere with no other players. Did I hear that right?
That's correct. I mean, there's a store about an hour from me, but it's not very regular, and nobody's playing 40K right now. It's just D&D. And let's see, there's a small store here in town, but again, nobody's really playing, you know. So basically, it's just me. And I'm hoping that when I can schedule it, I can, between one friend that I've met on Twitter here recently, Slim, the skeleton, and anybody else that would like to try to play on some tabletop simulator or something like that. He just picked it up, so
Patty's Parlor. How long have you been collecting / painting? Do you have enough stuff together to maybe start a club at your local library?
I have
Patty's Parlor. Perhaps even at that little store you had mentioned.
Yeah, I thought about that. I have every army. Tons of terrain. I was the vice president of a club in Okinawa, Japan, believe it or not. 40 people in that club. It was great. Except for a few weirdos, but it's the pricing is the problem. Like, people don't want to do it because everything costs so much, you know, and the only ones that are even remotely interested are the college kids here. But again, It's because it costs so much. Where they can basically play D&D almost for free. I mean, even the game store here in town, I'm not even sure how they stay in business, to be honest with you, because nobody's buying anything. I mean, every time I walk in there, I don't see anything gone. So, and then there's another one in the opposite direction, an hour north, but they only have like one table. I'll put it this way: my wife says that if you go in there, it looks like a hoarder lives there, like a real hoarder, because there's just so much stuff. You can't even hardly walk around in there. And again, I don't know how they keep the lights on, but it's, I don't know. I think the whole COVID thing really ruined everything for everybody. Regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, small businesses are hurting left and right, and unfortunately, you know, I don't know if there's ever going to be any recovery. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's amazing how only some, you know, like bigger chains have survived, if you will. And then you look at Games Workshop increasing their prices this month. Seriously? You know, with the claim that, you know, we had to. No, you really didn't. But whatever. It is what it is. Be right back. I need these pieces.
Patty's Parlor. I hear you about that. Wargaming can be cheap. One of the things I want to accomplish is wargaming for the pauper because I didn't have a lot growing up and I try to live humble even now.
Well, and that's exactly my thing. You know, I didn't have all kinds of stuff and toys and whatever. And I mean, I don't really consider these toys, but we are playing with them if we can. And you know, it's like you're living my life all over again. It's exactly how it was. So now you guys will get to see what I do. Got this smooth on plastic resin. The only thing is the mouth, or the piece we'll be making for the head, will be relatively solid.
Thing is, with GW, they're just going to keep raising the price because they know they can shut down other sites that sell fakes, and people love the games, so people will buy.
Well, you're
Patty's
not wrong.
Parlor. I didn't hear the nice computer lady mention my comment on one-page rules. Are you familiar with it?
Yes. Well, I say I am. I have them. I've read them once. I also have a book that I bought. It's called, oh hell, what's it called? Hold on, I think it's on my Discord. Weekend Warriors, the ultimate tabletop game. I have their Discord too. I thought it would be neat to support somebody like that to put together, and it's a nice little book. haven't played it, but you know, it's supposed to be simpler, like especially like for kids and stuff. So like if you wanted to get your young kids into it, that's kind of what drew me to it. But like I was, you know, I've been buying the codexes, I mean, I have everything since Rogue Trader. Even though I didn't start playing until 3rd edition, I didn't even know about it until 1998. But I went backwards and bought everything just because I love the history and the lore and everything. But I would say after 8th edition, after 8th edition, I didn't buy any more codexes. And what finally broke me was I bought the indexes, not realizing that in 2 weeks after buying them, they were going to turn around and start making, putting out codexes, because I'm pretty sure that I read that was how it was going to be, no longer codex books. So I've actually bought 2 sets because I wanted the artwork, anything I was going to be using that might get worn down or whatever, and I wanted a fresh copy. And lo and behold, that was not how things went. So Space Marine Codex came out, I bought it, and then they came out with the Space Marine Codex again like 2 months later, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was like, you know what, I'm done buying codexes. I'm just done. I'll play with what I got if I can even play, and of course I don't have anybody to play with, so it was just like, everything I ever, it was a sign, we'll put it that way. And then I learned last year of Wahapedia late, so there's everything that you need, and Games Workshop can't do anything to shut them down, who cares. Of course you got Battle Scribe as well, or you did. I don't know if anybody's going to be redoing it or whatever, since the owner of it, I guess, kind of bowed out. Not exactly sure what happened there, but
Patty's Parlor. Rules creep is rough, especially thousands of dollars in books.
yeah, they're all sitting right
I hope you
here.
find some players, even if they have to borrow your models to play.
Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking, if I could find some guys that would be willing, then we could do this, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not, I'm a narrative player kind of guy. And that's the other thing. The last time I played, it was not a very enjoyable experience. And I've said this story on stream before, but obviously you weren't here. The guy was a Navy veteran, younger guy. He might have did 4 years, I don't know. Told the guy from the beginning I'm not a meta player anyway. I just want to play to have some fun and whatever. And the army that I had, I wanted to play with a painted army, which was mine. I didn't say he had to have one, but I don't think that other mold came out right. You just have to do 2 on this one. What was I trying to say? Anyway, he showed up with a straight up meta army. It was a Space Wolves army that was like tournament, everything. And I didn't care. Who cares if you lose, right? I make up my own objectives in my head anyway. And the army that I had, Salamander's army, I built it in 2003 when we came back from Iraq. I took 30 days leave, didn't go home, just didn't want to be around anybody, and I built and painted that army completely. And completely, other than some things I wanted to do like on the inside, stuff that no one would ever see. That's not done. And this guy saw the painted army, and his army was all like not painted and semi-painted and stuff because he just bought it off eBay. And I'm not judging the dude. I don't care. And we're playing whatever, but you know, I build my Space Marine armies around combined arms, like, you know, we are in the military. And even though I didn't have Primaris like he had and all this other stuff, you know, I mean, the army is sound. I've never changed its composition, you know, ever since I built it, and I didn't even field everything. And so I'm killing this guy left and right, and he is not happy. And I'm trying to pull back, you know, and make the game fun for him as well. And I noticed, I didn't know, and I still don't really know anything about flyers, but he had I think it's called the Long Fang or whatever. I have it now, but I've never used it. I just put it together. He had that ship, and I was pretty sure that you're supposed to, like, when you're moving, if you don't turn or whatever, and your movement goes to the board edge, your plane goes off the board or something like that, I think. Or maybe that's how it was. Maybe it's not like that anymore. And I'm not trying to confuse it with Battlefleet Gothic, which I do know the rules of. I'm pretty sure that there was something you had to control the flight of the craft to keep it on the board. So anyway, I didn't really question that, but in the second turn, I noticed he did not shoot at me with all of his weapons, or any of his weapons from that ship. And, well, I noticed it in our third turn. I was like, oh wait, he didn't even shoot. And it didn't occur to me to say anything for whatever reason. Maybe I didn't want to, I don't know. But turn 4 goes by, and he still didn't shoot with it. He moved it, but he didn't shoot with it. And then turn 5 comes around, and he doesn't have a whole lot left. And it's been so long, I don't remember. I almost feel like he had some strategic thing in mind to do what he was going to do now, which was tell me, hey, I forgot to shoot back in turn 2 and 3. You know, I'm sorry, yeah, 2, 3, and 4. And can I shoot all those now? And I was like, well, no. You know, I mean, we're already in turn 5. And I never even fired at that thing because I, you know, between trying to hit a mover, I think you had to have a 6 or something, or I don't really understand movers really. And I mean flyers. And anyway, he got really upset about that. And mind you, he's losing the game as well, so that didn't help. And you know, I forget what he said exactly, but he was, you know, this is bullshit and some other stuff. And so I just stuck my hand out, you know, to shake his hand, and he shook my hand, and I said, good game, man, you know, you win. And you know, and I said it just like that, no overtone or anything or undertone. And he snatches his hand back, you know, and he's like, oh, that's bullshit, and I was like, well, I gotta go. So I just packed my stuff up and I went home. And that was at the place that, you know, the first place I told you is an hour and away. And I've never been back. You know, I've called them, I've checked out stuff on their Discord, but nobody's doing anything 40K related. That's not like maybe a kill team game here and there. And that's a long way for me to go for a game like that. So yeah, that kind of sucked, you know. But it's so hyper competitive now. It seems, in my opinion, it's so hyper competitive now, and people just cannot. There's a few things that people can't do, in my opinion. They can't stay on topic in a discussion. They can't remember what was said. They don't really care about the discussion. They just want to cherry pick and find out, you know, or you know, throw barbs, if you will, to try to be right, even if they're clearly wrong. And it's, I mean, they can't even see, you know, when, I don't know. Like I said, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it just, that game just, you know, I wasn't having any fun, I can tell you that. It was not fun at all. I mean, even though I was winning, it just wasn't fun. And that's supposed to be the spirit of the game, so. Oh, look at me. I'm a recaster. It's not ready yet. Well, no, I was able to make an indentation. It's not ready. These are impressive models, though, I gotta say. I do like them. I mean, I'm sure they cost a ton in points. I have no idea. Never looked at it. And I've always liked the idea of being able to come up out of the ground, you know, where you least expect it. I think that commando rules, infiltrator rules, all that stuff really went down the tubes. I don't think Games Workshop did them right anymore. And there's other rules I don't like if you take a look at, you know, the vehicle rules, and I've had this discussion with somebody else on here before. You know, I get the whole gotcha thing. You don't want to have, you know, you don't want that in play, but hell, that's all the stratagems right now. That's something I just don't even bother playing with, you know, at all, or even really caring about. Besides, I've got stacks and stacks of the data cards, or whatever you call them, from the armies for over the years, and it's just, you know, it's like, if you want to know everything about your enemy or your opponent, in 3rd edition it wasn't too hard. You could buy the codex, that was it for each army, and then you've got everything you need to study. Now you got to have this, and you got to have all these battle cards or stratagems or whatever, or try to find them. And maybe they're all out there on the net, I don't know, but then you got to sit around and study all that stuff even more so than you did with the codexes. And then you still got rules lawyers or Nazis that want to, well, this is the way I read it, and blah blah blah. And it's like, gosh, all we're doing is arguing now. We're not even playing the game. So going back to vehicles, we had a house rule, at least, that, you know, if you were fielding transports, for instance, that's what I meant to say was transports, not just vehicles. There's no way that your opponent, would have any knowledge whatsoever of what was in whichever transport. So why on earth would you tell them? You know what I mean? I mean, you're literally just, I mean, that's ridiculous. You know, target the thing, do whatever you want to do to it to force the reveal, if you will. But there's no reason that you should be having to tell somebody that, when nothing on this earth, nothing in real life or in fiction, would give you the ability, save a psychic power maybe, to discern the disposition of enemy troops in or not in that vehicle, especially the troop composition or whatever. I mean, it just doesn't even make any sense. Plus, if you're looking at, you know, this is just my opinion, if you're looking at, let's just say you played a 6-turn game. We always played annihilation games, like play as long as it took to kill the other guy's army completely. Nobody really liked the turn limit. But let's just say you're playing a 6-turn game. You know, there's a lot of things that equate to that, such as the amount of ammo your Space Marines, for instance, actually have on their, you know, their person. So it makes sense. Well, it would also make sense that the battle is so, you know, robust at the time, or so chaotic. You know, I'm just using a librarian as, for example. The last thing he's probably thinking about is, you know, who's in that vehicle. But if you look at the novels, when they do try to, you know, discern, you know, disposition of enemy forces and things like that, it's on a much broader scale. It's not focused down to something like that. That wouldn't make any sense in the first place. And that's just, you know, something that I always thought it was, you know, just horrible for either side. I mean, you know, why would I know that? You know, and again, the argument used to be, and it may still be, well, it's science fiction. They've got, you know, radar and they got all this stuff. Dude, come on, man. I mean, if you read the novels, how much stuff gets jammed, how much stuff is, you know, technology that's lost, you know, and they don't have the ability to do it.
Morning, dude.
Hey, what's up, Cyril? So, I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you guys think about that, but alright, let's see how this came out. too bad. We're not going to get all the teeth, but that's okay. Not too concerned about that.
Legonomics 2. I can agree.
I mean, I think no one should know what's in your vehicles. Now, you could say, oh well, it keeps people from playing the shell game because you targeted this vehicle, you know,
Zero
whatever.
Harbor.
But you could
Gonna lurk for a bit as work's busy.
sure, but you can, you know, you could make it a rule that you have to annotate it on your roster or something like that to avoid the shell game. And then if your opponent has a question about it, you know, show them your roster. I mean, you know, that way it wasn't whatever, but I don't know. I mean, we never had that problem, so not that I recall anyway. I mean, it is a valid argument or opinion, but I just think that you can avoid that. I guess we'll see how this turned out here in a second. Should be just all I need to get it done. I mean, I remember now the sacrifice I was making to make that Red Terror. And I remember saying to myself, I hope this doesn't screw me over. And it did. But I also remember buying, you know, another Trygon because of it. And let's dry fit this and see how it is. This guy will just be missing some teeth. We'll call him Toothless. Toothless. It's not too bad, I don't think. Let me take a look at this. How does this fit? Did we go deep enough is the question. Okay, so that's a lot thicker than what I've got. So I didn't go deep enough, looks like. I was trying to be sparing on that. So I'm gonna have to re-pour that. That's okay. It's all part of the process. Didn't go deep enough.
Patty's Parlor. I do like you've activated my trap card moments. But I've played against enough cheaters to know they'll try something.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But I mean, does my solution make sense at all? Being honest, I mean, I feel like it works. If you have to annotate it down before the battle or something to keep you from changing your mind, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's not a solution.
Patty's Parlor. My favorite game was War Machine. I played a game where I checked ranges and facing with my opponent, because I don't like feel bad moments, then when it came to fulfilling the plan.
War Machine. I'm thinking of Warzone. It's not Warzone though. I have like 5 boxes of the old Warzone Mutant Chronicles stuff. So it's like 400 models. Go to 80 in each box. They're all going to be proxy guard. I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, that didn't come out at all. This one's no good. That's okay. I can just make the other piece to this and make 2 of them.
Patty's parlor. He decided something was out of range because I collapsed his right flank. I just had to let it go. I think he ended up winning, but it is what it is. I don't have to play with the guy next time.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something else too. It's like guys like you and me that say that and think that. I mean, I listen to Northern Exile, if you probably listen to him. He says the same stuff. But eventually we run out of people. And we run out of places. You know, and it's... nobody's really thinking about that, I guess. Or they don't care. I don't know. I don't know. That's a little too thin to be able to cut like that. I don't know, I have delusions of grandeur when it comes to my game room and playing with people and clubs and whatever. Like all that's gonna happen again someday. And the best I can hope for, and I'll never make them do it, is that my kids decide that they're interested in playing when they're old enough to understand everything. And if they're not, that's fine. I have solo rules anyway.
Patty's parlor. In a perfect world, yet. I wrote a skirmish game wherein each player has an ulterior motive. It's supposed to be kept secret, kind of like Malifaux. Until near end of the game.
Why until near end of the game? Or do you mean until the end of the game? Maybe I heard it wrong. No, you got near the end of the game. Okay. I wish I could just make this work, but it's just, there's not enough. It's too thin. Mainly the back is too thin. Hold on, let me look at this again. So this goes like that. Yeah, we're too thin at the neck. And yeah, really the neck area would push it out. We'll see how this one comes out. Could make one out of green stuff. Just don't feel like doing it. Probably just rush this, and it's probably something, if it doesn't work, that I just need to revisit, because I know I can do it. Hell, I did the heads for the zone throats, and they aren't any different. Matter of fact, they're bigger. All right, what else can we do in the meantime? Let's see here. I already put this guy back together, so we've got two more of him to do, but they're going to be magnetized so they can be Tyranids.
Patty's Parlor. I didn't realize my feed was 2 ministers behind.
2 ministers behind? Or do you mean 2 minutes behind? Probably 2 minutes behind. These are all pieces for the... I don't know what you call those guys. They're... It's a
Parlor.
Toxicrene, that's
2
it.
minutes.
Yeah. Toxicrene, that's what it's called. I can put this together. Get this stuff ready. In the meantime. See, now I'm at that stage where something has gone wrong. And I'm like, I don't want to work on Trygons anymore. When all I've got to do is put that head together and then put the other guy together, which is probably the one I should be cutting apart right now. But I'm not. I'm doing something stupid to distract myself. I feel like I'm making progress. Well, I say stupid, just, you know, distraction. But sometimes you have to do that. But I have resisted the urge to just start painting, because I know the second I do that, I will not be putting anything together at that point. And then that will be no good for anyone.
Patty's Parlor. Anyway, the skirmish game is narrative driven. The ulterior motives and when they're revealed is supposed to simulate the desperate mutant gang's reason or response to conflict.
So when you say narrative driven, like, do you, what am I trying to ask here? Is it like stuff you do in the game makes it that way, or is it like having a game master or DM or something? See, I have a game I made on Tabletop Simulator. It's kind of a one-shot, modeled after the RPG game Death Watch, even though it's not actually Death Watch.
Patty's Parlor. It's similar to Frostgrave in a sense.
I've never had an opportunity to play that. Uh-oh. Does that not go there? I don't know. Or did I put them on wrong? Oh shit. Maybe I put it on the wrong side. I haven't actually looked
Patty's
at the
Parlor.
instructions on this one.
The shared objective is loot grabbing, but the ulterior motives make it asymmetrical and keep the game somewhat a surprise.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good. Nope, I had it right. Don't need no stinking instructions. Thank you to everyone joining the channel. Please feel free to say something.
Patty's Parlor.
Say I've
I'll
never...
send it to you once it's finished being proofread. It's mini agnostic, so I'm sure your Imperial Guard and Tyranids, Orcs, etc. will have a place.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think stuff like that is probably the route I'm going to be going, because like they were talking about a complete rewrite of the Warhammer
Patty's
rules
Parlor.
for 10th edition.
Got to get going though. Have a good one, brother.
Okay, brother. And I'm just, I don't know. I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't think it's going to be as streamlined as they're saying. And I think too many people that are used to having all of their stratagems for competition play or match play, whatever, are going to be too upset that too much stuff's going to be taken out. And if I'm correct in saying this, I may not be, but if I'm correct in saying that, you know, their Games Workshop's kind of catering to the match play crowd so that, you know, models are being purchased, you know, they control the meta that way. Well, I mean, they're going to do what those guys want. And of course, we can play however we want to, as long as you can find the right opponent to, you know, agree to play with you. However, come on now, why are you taking so long? What the hell's going on here? Let's see here. This should be done. Oh, that's my problem. That's why I had to make the other one. Alright, well, we got 2 of those. These are curing, but they sure are curing slow for some reason. I don't know why. Shouldn't take that long. For those of you that have joined and you're trying to figure out what the heck's going on here.
B0 by Bob. I got a Tyranids army to build also when I'm done with my orcs.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you for joining. If you're wondering what the hell's going on, why I'm holding a Tyranids or Tyranids THX weapon in my hand, it's because I'm distracting
B0
myself.
by Bob. Also hi.
Hi. To distract myself from the fact that I have to make this stuff right here and wait on it. I do have another Trygon to put together for 4 total. The reason that I'm having to make another head is because I took the head out of one of the Trygon boxes to make my custom red terror that is on my Instagram if you're interested in looking. I don't think I put it on our Discord, but the Diamond Karen's on there if you want to look at that I just finished making. It's a kit bash version, of course, not the Forge World one. And so I'm trying to make this top portion, which is what I need for at least either this one, this Trygon, or the one that's in the box. So we've only got the one neck piece. Oh, excuse me. Which is the ultimate piece that you need to be able to make the head of the Trygon. And then I also need to make some more of these because apparently I have either misplaced, or I think that I actually used these on the Red Terror as well because I like their look more than the biomechanical one that they have. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go over here and throw this stuff back in the water to get the mold squared away, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. What are we talking about? Talk to me, people. Questions, things you just want to talk about, your armies, paint jobs. Alright, while we wait on that, we're going to go ahead and break out the other Trygon. Start putting pieces together. And if you're new to the channel and you don't know what this is all about, why you got some crazy weirdo with 4 Trygons. I am a huge collector of this hobby. So what that means to you is, if you feel like it, if you go to my YouTube channel by the same name and look at my very first video, you will see what this journey is all about from the beginning. I am, other than Space Marines and some fantasy armies and terrain, almost completely done putting everything together. But when you see how much I am putting together or have put together, when the Tyranids are done, I'm going to do an update video for everybody.
Legonomics 2. So I was looking on the GW site and saw some Necromunda stuff, and I was thinking, what if I kit bashed the Goliath Maulers with some orcs and made some nice war bikers?
That's not a bad idea. Not at all, actually. I like that. That's not a bad idea. Oh, that reminds me, I've got Necromunda crap to put together myself. A couple of gangs, some ambles. All right. But yeah, go to my YouTube channel and check out that first video, and you'll be, well, you're probably gonna be like, Jesus, what the hell's wrong with you? But it's, you know, something I've been collecting for decades now, and I'm finally, over this last year with school and everything else, finally getting around to being able to put it all together. But it, like I said, we'll be doing
Legonomics 2. The ambles look so good.
Oh yeah, I love them. I like the live version, if you will, in the oh god, what the hell is it called? What's the name of the game? Black something. Is it Black Fortress? No, it can't be. Is it Black Fortress?
Legonomics 2.
Blackstone
Blackstone
Fortress, yeah.
Fortress.
Yeah, I have that game, and then I have the Amble expansion. I didn't really go much further than that, and I've never had a chance to play it. Someday. Someday. That tail, because I like that tail better. I just like the way it looks. Everything we need for that. I think so for now. Oh yeah, so these are the mandibles I don't like, with that little whatever that nonsense is right there. I mean, if I have to, I'll use them, but I shouldn't have to. Be right back. those guys sit. And razor blade, activate.
B0 by Bob. For how long have you been into miniature and stuff?
Since 90, well, I was going to say since 98, but technically I came across, not knowing anything about Warhammer, came across a box of Space Marines in a pawn shop. I believe it was in 94 or 95. And I don't even know what happened to those things. I know I painted them with enamel paints, and because all I knew how to do was paint airplanes and stuff when I was a kid, and that did not turn out well at all. So. But definitely 98 was when I started my Warhammer journey. So this has got some very sharp pieces on it, sticking me in the fingers. I strongly suggest, if you're new to the channel, and I say this to everybody, keep some dull blades around like the one I've got in my hand. It allows you to do what I'm doing without cutting into your plastic. And if you happen to hit yourself with the blade, it's not a guaranteed cut into your flesh. Corn doesn't like that, for you Warhammer aficionados, but if Corn has his way, this model's gonna be drawing blood on me here in a second anyway with these damn spikes. Wouldn't be the first time.
Legonomics 2. Blood for the Blood God.
Yeah. Why do I have this feeling that in order to not end times the 40K universe, because supposedly Tyranids have learned how to fight chaos, judging from the devastation of Ball Book, that there's going to be some kind of way of banishing the Tyranids to the warp, and that's where they all end up fighting chaos, and now chaos and Tyranids are no longer a threat. I don't know, just talking shit really, but
B0 by Bob. I just started into this hobby few weeks ago. My knife is still very sharp.
right on. Well, If you're not familiar with cutting techniques and stuff, as you can see, I'm cutting towards myself. That will give you leverage. Okay. It also, if you see this finger right here, probably can't see what I'm doing, but I'm supporting my finger against it so that I limit the amount of range that the knife can go, so it doesn't just go into my thumb. If you go like this, you run the risk of actually shaving off a lot of, I mean, there's going to be times you'll need to do that. But with a sharp knife, you run the risk of going straight into your plastic and screwing up your model. You're better off to just take it a little bit at a time and cut around it if you're new, and then you can scrape across like this and get the same effect. And then on Amazon.com, something that might benefit you if you feel like buying them are sanding twigs. They're super cheap, you get a ton of them, and these things are awesome versus having traditional sandpaper or sanding block. Of course, it depends on the size of the job, but like right here, I'm no doubt gonna have to break that out. And there's, you know, they come with varying grades. There you go. Nice and smooth. So what army do you have there? I forget. Did you say orcs? I think you said you were going to do Tyranids after orcs. Which orcs do you have? Or, I'm sorry, which orcs are you making? I guess I would say.
B0 by Bob. Evil Sons Orcs.
Right on. Well, if I can offer any advice, completely up to you, obviously. My orcs will be painted mostly in the Goth pattern, but what I plan on doing is magnetizing a banner or some little thing that I have a bunch of that'll be painted certain colors, you know, of various orc, you know, tribes, if you will, or WAs. That way they can be whatever and still have the look that I want when they're in the case, you know, the case. Something to think about. I mean, you don't have to do that obviously for casual games and things like that, but if you wanted your opponent to be clear on what orcs you had and what their specialities were or whatever, it's a method rather than committing to a full paint scheme. Or if you got a reasonable player, you just tell them, hey look, today they're evil sons, tomorrow they're goths or whatever, snake bites or whoever. Sneaky kids. Must not have done the right
B0 by Bob.
ratio over there.
That's cool, if you wish to play different factions.
Yeah. Well, you gotta learn to try to get the most for your buck in this hobby. You really do, because it ain't gonna get any cheaper unless you're buying off of eBay, and then even that's subject to change based on how much Games Workshop's charging and what the supply and demand is. I mean, hell, right now, a metal out-of-print Hive Tyrant from 3rd edition, well, really 2nd edition, I guess, is going for $100. That tells you anything. An old out-of-print, you know, model that has, you know, it doesn't look near as good as the stuff that's out there now, but it doesn't matter. Collectors want it. I have 3 of them. I'm not giving them up. By the way, if you're interested, check out our Discord. If you have Discord, of course.
B0 by Bob. Sure.
It's not like a massive channel or anything on Discord, but I definitely post when I'm gonna go online and stuff like that. You can post your artwork there, share it, get some opinions if you care. Alright. Oops. Just realized that everybody makes mistakes. There we go. Damn, that hurt. Yeah, I didn't think that was lined up correctly. My gut was screaming, it's not right, it's not right. This goes, where does this go? I don't even know. Don't even know. Ah, I thought that might be where it went. It just looked different. Where is the chest? There it is. Yes. So how many points do you got, Bobby? Of orcs, and did you already buy Tyranids, or?
B0 by Bob. I got about 1k point of orc and Tyranid. B0 by Bob. But haven't started Tyranid yet.
1,000 points is legit, man. You got like a lot of friends to play with, or gaming club, store.
B0 by Bob. I got 2 club not too far away. I live around Montreal, but so far I learn with my brother, that's how I started.
What does he have for armies?
B0 by Bob. He play Necron and Space Marine.
Right on. Well, that should be a healthy rivalry all the time. Orcs versus Space Marines, and Tyranids versus Necrons, even though Tyranids tend to steer away from Necron Tomb Worlds, but who cares? And of course, Space Marines against Necrons, and Tyranids against Orcs. If he were to play one of your armies, you guys could replay or play Octarius, since Orcs and Tyranids are throwing down over there in a never-ending battle. Or did they win already? I can't remember. remember this was a pain. I just can't remember why it was so much. Okay. Been a long time. You bastard. Wait a minute, we're missing a piece here. There it is. Dropping stuff on the floor. all the little vent coverings. And of course they'll be on a different sprue. Why not? Hey. Dang, Lego, that's awesome. I love that plasma. Look at those orcs, man. They're legit.
B0 by Bob. Posted the orc I painted so far on your artwork channel, sir.
Yeah, I see it. That's awesome, man. How long did it take you to paint that much?
Legonomics 2. Thank you, and those orcs are dope.
I'm gonna promote you there, Bobby.
B0 by Bob. Each boys is like 4 hours, I think, lol.
4 hours for a boy? That's pretty good. Are those the new Death Coptas, or does anybody know? I've got an entire fleet of them, but they all came from the Battle for McCrag, or no, not McCrag, Black Reach set. I've got a ton of them. You guys can actually see it on that first video. I think you can. Should be able to.
B0 by Bob. They were in my combat patrol kit, but they seem new compared to some model I saw on Pinterest.
Okay.
Legonomics 2. I love that Def Dread.
Yeah, that thing's legit. Is the shine that's on
Legonomics 2. I got some Mechanops and Killicans I got to paint up myself.
Yeah, I got a bunch of Killicans, man. I don't even think I have an orc dreadnought. I might have one, but I don't know. I've got so much crap, who knows. Can't remember anymore. But your Contemptor, is it supposed to be that shiny, or is that just a light, or what? I mean, I know you're not done with it, obviously, but...
Legonomics 2. That's just the light.
Ah. Looks awesome, though. I like the color scheme for sure. Reminds me of the, oh god, what are they called? Death Specters, though. You'll have to... I think it's Death Specters have that, sort of that color scheme. I might be wrong.
Legonomics 2. I'm pretty sure Death Spectors are white and black.
Who am I thinking of that's... They've got, like, crossed sickles, and they're black and yellow. I just can't remember.
B0 by Bob. I'm still not sure what hive fleet is gonna be my Tyranids yet.
I would say paint whatever color you want and then call them whatever it is whenever you play. That's what I'll be doing. I'm not gonna commit to one color, you know, hive fleet color scheme. I mean, per Games Workshop stuff. I mean, as long as they've got the keyword in your roster or however, I don't think it matters. Now, if you're doing it because it's what you want to do, then rock on.
Legonomics 2. BRB.
Roger. This might be the most tedious part of this construction, is these vents. Good grief. They don't really slot in. Gotta kind of figure it out. Get them to line up. Like this one, I don't like the way it looks. There it goes. Well, I don't like the top. There it is.
Legonomics 2. I'm back.
Right on. Okay. So now put this one on.
B0 by Bob. I'm going to buy some sanding twig like that. Seem much better than my sanding block from D&D.
Yeah, man, you should get these. These are legit. What the hell's going on there? Oh, might help if I put it on right. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue. It's fine. I don't know what I've gotten in the habit now, which is not necessarily a good one, of constantly putting a little bit of glue so that I can remove bits and pieces if I need to, and that's not exactly how you should be doing things. Gotta make sure I got room for my arm to get in there. I want to cover it up with that spike there. Alright, so that's done. Well guys, I am going to call it a night. I got to do some things before I go to bed, and it's almost midnight, so I appreciate everybody, and I really appreciate, I mean, we've never had this many people watching all at once.
Lego No Mix 2. See you, man, have a good one.
Good to meet you guys. Good to see you again, Lego. And of course I enjoyed all the discussions earlier, so.
B0 by Bob. Later, man.
Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.